Is 7 o'clock on Saturday evening, which means it is time for a video and a new card. Hello, Lorraine. Hello, Kathy and Linda. Appreciate it. Purple and dots. Yes. It's like a purple people eater, only, it doesn't eat people, but it is purple and it has dots. Okay. All right. So this is the card I gave you the sneak peek of. It's a little different than my normal card, but I kind of like it, actually. I think it's kind of fun. So it uses the two-tone floral stamp set, and I really didn't use the ginormous die that's in this. That's for another time. But I did cut out several of the stamped images from the set, and it doesn't have any sentiments, so you're going to want a sentiment set. And I pulled out something fancy and was also able to use the little tag, and this is kind of an integral piece, this hexagon. I think it's hexagon. Yep, that's right. 6 sides. Hey, Carol. Hi, Faith. Hi, Amy. Appreciate you guys coming. And Marva. Thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate that. Hi, Debbie. And I used the label die as well. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I did, I've done a little bit ahead, and all of this will be on the website tomorrow. So what I did is I embossed a piece of Highland Heather cardstock in the dots version of the basic 3D embossing folders. Now remember, this is an online exclusive. It's coming on the 1st of March. Demonstrators are getting it now, or you can put it in a starter kit if you happen to want to take advantage of the still ongoing celebration special. But you get 3 of them for $30, and they are all 3D embossing folders, and they're cool. I particularly love this one. It's got a crosshatch. Can you see that? Okay. So anyway, I did the dots on this, and I'm going to do this first, and then we're going to set it aside. I've got my Whisper White ink pad, and I'm just going to turn it upside down like this and drag it across those dots. Okay? Like that. Just to me, it seems like it accentuates it. It feels like it ought to accentuate those dots, but to me, it kind of softens it a little bit. But the white ink, like so many of the really pigmenty inks. Hey, Judy. Hi, Donna. Hi, Jean. Appreciate you guys coming. Hi, Karen. And I'm going to set this aside. It takes a little longer for this ink to dry, so I want it to have plenty of time, so I'm going to set it somewhere where maybe I won't, get my hands all in it or anything like that. In the meantime, I have cut out and stamped. I used this die. Now, the two-tone floral has 2-step images, okay? So you've got a detailed image and then the fill for several different sizes of flowers. And I've used the this smaller one here to stamp. I did they're both of the stamps, both images in the 2-step process are Blushing Bride. But I did straight up Blushing Bride for the detailed image, and then stamped off once Blushing Bride for the fill image. These are relatively easy to line up. I won't fib you. They were a little bit, these ones. I just learned to talk last week. These ones right here. Sorry. What a dork. This one was a little more persnickety because that stamped off Blushing Bride is really light. So what I ended up doing, because this image is a little bit confuselating, I got it lined up before I put it on the block, and I put a dot in the middle of the flowers that it lines up with. Okay? So that way I know that if I stamp, wait for it. I'm going to start with my darker color. So when I stamp that, I know that I've got the dotted flower up, and I'll do the same with this one when I've stamped it off once. And seriously, it's still not easy. So you still kind of have to look around a little bit. You want to look right through the stamp to find the holes to line these holes up with the little hole in the middle of that image. And if you're really careful and you hold your mouth just right, you will get it. And you can't even see that, but I did actually get it. I got lucky and got it. Okay, so this is a very easy stamp set to line up. when you're using a little bit more saturated colors, okay? I will say, however, that this image is very simple to line up. Those, not that one. You can't line those up ever. But the dots in the middle of both flowers line up perfectly. All right, so just saying, 2 steps and kind of fun. Don't forget the beauty of stamping off, though. I was able to get 2 color shades just by stamping off with the same color. Okay, so I've got those. I have 2 large and 2 of the. There it is. See? Did you see that? Did you see it try to get away? Darn thing. And 2. I've got 2 of the multis and 2 of the larges. And I also stamped the happy birthday sentiment on a piece of basic white and cut it out with the die from Something Fancy. So I have a sentiment. And I cut a basic white tag also with Something Fancy. Now, I used that hexagon to cut 5 hexagons from Fresh Freesia cardstock. Before I stamped them, or before I cut them, I stamped the detailed image of the same flower that I cut out on the Fresh Freesia, in Fresh Freesia ink. Okay, so it's just a tone on tone. I didn't use the second image, just the first one. I also cut out 5 of the Vellum Basics. I'm not sure if you can see that. It's the one with the, there you go. Yeah, you can see it. It's the one with the leaves. I cut 5 of those out as well. And we're just going to do a little bit of layering with that. All right. So before we get going on that any further, I'm all over the place here all of a sudden. It's like my brain went, where did she go? All right. I'm going to use some liquid glue and adhere my panel to this. Now this is a little more, this is a wider margin than you're used to seeing. I didn't want this to be a matte as much as to have it be a frame, okay? So I wanted it to be framed a little bit, get a little white in there, a little more white. All right, so you can see quite a bit wider than you're used to seeing. And you want to get that down good because the embossing is very deep. All right, so you want to make sure you get it adhered well. And then I just spent a little time laying things out. I wanted to layer the vellum underneath the stamped images. This is a little bit of a, so funny story, I kept trying to put it on like this. and that's just cockamamie. And I was like, my God, that didn't look so weird. So it turns out, you know, there's an up and an up, and that is not it. That's just different. It's just not right. So anyway, anywho, I spent some time laying it out so that I would know what was going to be what and what was going to be where. I wanted to have it kind of centered on my card front, like that. And then these are going to go over the top, like so. And the only reason I'm doing this is so that I can, well, show you sort of the process that I went through. And to show you how we're going to do the adhering. So you can see that didn't give me enough space down there. So I want to raise it up just a little bit. And my theory is every time I do this, it's going to be a little different, right? Because that's how it works. Because that's just how it works. Okay, so I kind of like that, and then this is going to go over the top and the rest of the layers. Okay, so what I'll do now is pull those, just the Highland Heather ones back up, or I'm sorry, these are Fresh Freesia. And I'm using my third hand here because it's a little less fat fingery than my real hand. What I want to do is I'm only going to put glue on the parts that I know are covered, okay? So glue and put it right back. See, I keep trying to put it like that, and that's just not right. It's like that. Okay. And don't worry, because we're going to use plenty of glue on the cardstock ones, and so it will be well and truly adhered. So I just want glue on this inside corner. If you don't, it will show through. It doesn't show through as badly on this printed vellum as it does on the plain vellum. But why push your luck? That's my theory. Don't push your luck. Because about the time you get all done and you'll be like, oh my God, that's a beautiful, oh, I can see the glue. Hey, Holly, appreciate you coming. Hi, Jenna Marie. Hi, Barbara. Amanda, appreciate everybody coming. Thanks, Jean. I hope it'll help. I spent a little time frustrated. Okay, now this one, I'm going to put glue on the top edge and a little bit on the side. Okay. And then this one will be on the inside part. You gotta keep turning it over every once in a while just to make sure you know where it's going, just to be sure. Okay. So I let that set a minute so that the glue has a chance to do its thing. You could also use glue dots if you wanted. But you know me, I'm gonna reach for that liquid glue almost every time. I just can't help myself. It's just my go-to glue. So you can also turn it over. It's a great idea, Donna. Good tip. Good tip. Okay, so there we go. Now we'll go ahead and take these and adhere them with liquid glue. And you obviously, duh, Mary, you can do as much glue as you need on these because you can't see it. You can't see it. All right. Now, truth in advertising, I did get some of these ideas from a sample in the catalog. Always, if you are having a crisis of mojo, that's what I call it, when I sit and I just stare at my craft space like I got nothing, I have no idea what to make or do, pull out that catalog, people. Those artists are awesome and talented as they can be, and you should use them. Use their expertise to your advantage. Okay, and one more. Because why not? That's why they put those samples in there. You thought it was just to tempt you, didn't you? I mean, obviously, duh, it kind of is, but it's also to give you ideas. Okay, so now that that is on, we are ready to adhere our tag, and I'm using liquid glue for that. I did play with the idea of using dimensionals, and I decided not to because I've got plenty else going on. Okay. Now, the sketch that I played with wanted the sentiment to be like that, so there it is. That's how it's going to be. And then I thought it would be fun to just kind of layer some of these guys under there, like that. And I think we'll pull this up just a little bit. And then this guy is going to go on the other side. Man, what would I do? I just could not even live without my tweezers. I'm just saying. I've literally gotten to where I almost can't even craft without them now. Okay, so I like how that's going to look. And then we're going to have a, hey Karen, then we're going to have a linen thread bow. And it's not going to be a Farrah Fawcett bow. This card just doesn't need that much bow. But I'm going to do a double length simple bow. So I've just got 2 lengths of linen thread, and I'm going to tie a simple bow with it. And by simple bow, I just mean your basic overhand bow. You know, like your bow. A bow. It's just a bow, people. It's the kind of bow that I have trouble with. So, you know, bows in public, just not a great thing. I don't know. You know, I should never make a bow. I should never make a card for a video that requires a simple bow. I just shouldn't. I should always use a double loop linen thread bow. I wonder if I could get away with a double loop linen thread bow. No, it would be overpowering. It would just be too much. Too much. Too much. Okay, I think this got it. Y'all, I was sorry to hear that President Carter has gone into hospice. That's kind of sad. I mean, you know, he's 98. It's not like he's 20. But still, he's done a lot of good works in his years here on this earth. So I sending good thoughts out to his family, to he and his family. And props to hospice care, because hospice is the best. They really are quite awesome. All right, so this bow is going to go right here. Yes, yes, yes. But I'm going to put it on last. That was just a fit check. Fit check. Fit check. All right, so let's put some liquid glue on. Yes, green glue. It's the bestest. Hey, Debbie. Appreciate you coming. All right, here we go. And we went to Tractor Supply today and bought 25 Leland cypress trees to put up our fence line. We should have done it 10 years ago. They'd be like 50 feet right now, but you know, you got to start sometime. And we've decided finally to, I guess we're going to stay. So I guess we'll plant some trees. We're goofy. I can't help it. But Finn, poor little guy, there were 2 tiny humans there, and he was desperate to see them. And I don't think their mother was up for it. And so I didn't even try. And he was so sad. He was so sad. He cried. I was standing there looking at a book, and I heard, what in the world is that? And I realized it was him. And it was because of the tiny humans. He wanted those tiny humans to come and see him. And they didn't. They didn't, because they were mean tiny humans. No, they weren't. They were just little kids doing their own kid thing. Yep, we're going to have some trees. They're only about, I don't know, about 3 feet tall, but I understand that Leland cypress grow at like 6 inches a year, so they should be pretty good. You know, by the time we're 90, 100, they'll be awesome. All right, so I've just used a couple of dimensionals there, and I think I can get away with one more into there. He did just want to make friends. He got lots of pettings, though. Let's be real. He was not abused. And the kid at the counter, every time he saw him, was like, does he want a cookie? Do chickens have lips? Of course he wants a cookie. Of course he wants a cookie. That's why he comes. It's why he comes. Okay, I'm going to use a little glue dot and put my bow on. Put my bow on. My bow. There we go, bow. Go, bow. Here we go, bow. This wants to be straightened out just a little bit. I mean, I like a little bit of crazy, but come on, man. Got to be a little less crazy than that. Okay, there we go. That wants to be a little bigger. Just remember, people, make it do what you want it to do. It's just paper, or in this case, linen thread. Don't be scared of it. Just make it do what you want it to do. Okay, there we go. Well, this one is having a little bit of a fit. Okay, so let's go ahead and add a few little bits of a little bling, a little bit of bling, little bit of bling. Italian cypress. Ah, yes, a little bit of crazy, little bit of bling. There we go. So I'm just putting one of these little small ones in the centers of my flowers, the little flowers that you can see. Because linen thread and bling together is perfect, I think. That's just me. You know, nobody called me and said, what do you think about rhinestones and bling and linen thread all together? But if they ever did, my answer would be, I think it's a great idea. You should do it. And you should have linen thread too. And then we're just putting a couple up under here, up here. There. And there is our card front. All right. So let's go ahead and do our innards. Now this is the part where I have to try to make that little stamp, and see if I can line it up. I could cheat and use the other one, but I'm not going to. I'm going to be brave. I'm going to be brave. I know, exactly, right? If onlys. It's the if onlys that we've got going. All right, so I'm going to start. I'm going to put the dot down. So I'm going to do that on both corners here of my basic white panel. And let's go ahead and put it in the corner of the envelope at the same time because of how efficient I am. That's what people say about me. Man, that Mary, she's so efficient. That's what they say, all right. All right, now I'm gonna ink up the second image and I'm gonna stamp it off once. And then I'm gonna hold my breath. There we go. Oh, phew. Okay, 1 down, 3 to go. Okay, pray for me, people. I can do it. Okay, here we go, here we go. Yep, there it is. I'm telling you, you can't really see it very strongly, but it's kind of pretty with the stamped off ones. And making the dot in the middle of the hole of the one flower, that really helps, so that at least I know I have it lined up correctly to start with. There we go. All right, I'll take that. Denim shirt and pearls. There you go. It is. It is exactly like linen thread and rhinestones. It's the same concept entirely. Hey, Lois, appreciate you coming. Hi, Tina. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. And then we'll just use some liquid glue and put this, oh dear. Well, I'm gonna see if I can fix that. If I can't, well, then I'm just gonna be sad. Because I made a splotch. I made a splotch. Let me see if I can find my eraser. Oh, eraser. Eraser. Where are you, eraser? Well, I'll have to fix it later. You see I have a splotch there. So, you know what? I am not going to put this on the inside of my card. Just in case I can't fix it, then I could at least fix the card, right? I can salvage the card, but I won't do that while I'm keeping you guys. So let me put some dimensionals on the back of the front, on the back of the front. That's different than on the front of the back. Well, you know, Debbie, I would, except it's in kind of a weird spot. It would look like I had tried to cover something up there. It's way off. It just wouldn't, I just don't think it would fly. I don't think it would work. Let me get some more dimensionality. I'll find my eraser and hopefully it will erase that. If not, well, you know, it's cardstock. I'll do another one. All right, here we go. I am the boss of that bow. Yes, no, I'm not. I am not the boss of those bows. They routinely just laugh at me. They laugh in my general direction. There you go. Now, is that a purple card? I think I kind of like it. I'm a fan of purple, and I really love how these colors all went together. It turned out really nice. So thank you, Global Design Project, for the color inspiration. And let's see, on my envelope flap, I'm not going to try to make up any DSP. I'm going to stamp my larger single flower. And I'll start with the full strength Blushing Bride. And then I'm going to stamp the fill image off once. And I'm just really lining up those dots. This stamp combination fits together perfectly. So if your dots aren't lining up, turn your stamp. I promise. The dots line up perfectly. So if it's not, then you need to turn your stamp around. Okay, and there we go. So that, as they say in some industry somewhere, I'm pretty darn sure, is that. Except for, you know, the inside. But this is what it'll look like. This is exactly what it'll look like. Exactly like this, but without that right there. Okay? All right. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you spending part of your weekend with me. I hope you have a 3-day weekend and you don't have to work on Monday. If you're still going out to work or having to telecommute even, I hope Monday is a day off for you. Enjoy the weekend. We're supposed to have beautiful weather on Monday, so that is a nice, it's like 70. So, you know, yesterday was 30. It'll be 70 on Monday. It's winter in Georgia. Appreciate y'all coming. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you next Thursday at 1. Thanks, guys. Ta.